So this is the antique store modular building from FunWhole, and it retails for $159.99 USD. This set is visually stunning, packed with Easter eggs, and like all FunWhole sets, comes equipped with a lighting kit. Let's look into it. I first became aware of FunWhole a couple months ago and I kept a little eye on them. They have been releasing sets every month, which is pretty impressive, which means it's constantly new stuff on the market. This set, the Antique Store, is actually part of their town life theme. They do have a number of different themes, which ranges from fantasy, medieval, and even steampunk, which is pretty awesome. The packaging for this set was very high quality. The box was actually lined with bubble wrap, so when I opened it and got the actual set box out, as you can see, it is in near mint condition. I was very impressed with it. The design, the sturdiness of this box is top tier, so that's a thumbs up from me. The pieces are very high quality in my opinion. They feel really good, connect together very well, and I must say, very similar to Lego. This particular set, the Antique Store, comes with 2,847 pieces, and as previously mentioned, retails for $159.99, which accompanied with a lighting kit, I think is really good value. If you are interested in trying out any of their products, I have left links down below along with a discount code YellowBrickPicks for 10% off.
Now when it comes to the lighting kits, you have this great orange box, and within that you have 3 bags, 1, 2 and 3. This contains all of your lights and cables. You have a nice FunWhole battery pack which takes AA batteries. It's compatible with a USB cable which is also provided. It has the on and off switch. There is an option that you don't have to use the battery pack. Instead you can just have it directly plugged in via USB-C cable. And then lastly you also have a nice pair of tweezers, very useful for installing the cables. Now when it comes to the instruction book, they do have a little section about FunWhole as a company, as well as providing a few sketches of the modular building. They also outline everything you should have within the 3 lighting bags, so it is worth checking to make sure you have all the cables. The quality of the paper is just very good, and as you can imagine, the instructions are clear, similar to that of Lego. They provide you with your own brick separator and have a little segment on how you can use that for the different pieces within the set, and then as expected it shows you which bags are used for which part of the modular build. When it comes to the cabling, they have an inspection page which I'd highly recommend doing. You just have to set this up, follow the instructions, and you just test each LED light just to make sure everything works correctly. Lastly, they show you how to build their minifigures, which if I'm totally honest is slightly more complicated to do than a standard Lego figure. However, their minifigures are pretty cute. Let's talk about the build experience now. First things first, you're not provided with a 32x32 base plate. Instead you have 16x16 plates. This takes nothing away from the build structurally, it's still very stable, which is very welcoming considering the size of the bookshelf in this build, which scales right through the building. The instructions are very easy to follow, similar to that of Lego, and each bag is numbered 1 through to 12. It's quickly worth noting here that the bricks they use are very good quality, they connect together extremely well, and I had absolutely no issues when building with them. I wanted to show here how clear and easy it is to follow the cabling instructions that they provide. They also have their own custom bricks which allow the wires to thread right through the bricks, keeping them hidden and out of sight. For the last part of the build experience, I just wanted to talk about the printed pieces because there are no stickers in this set, which is absolutely amazing. Instead you have some very high quality printed pieces. There are also some smaller ones which we'll be showing later on in this video.
As you can see, when it comes to the outside of the build, the cabling is very well hidden. It doesn't take anything away from the build, it if anything adds to it because there are some really cool techniques used to hide the cables in between all the bricks. The size of the modular, I've measured this up against other modulars from Lego. This one is slightly bigger than a lot of the Lego modular buildings, so just bear that in mind if you were to integrate this into your cities. It sits on a base plate of 32x32, so it is perfect to then be attached onto a milled plate if you wanted to do that.
I now want to explore the interior of this building, so we're going to start with the bottom floor and make our way up right to the roof. To begin with, we have a very cute coffee table looking out onto the street, and on the plate we have a nice warm croissant. Then if we look to the wall by the staircase, we'll notice 2 very sweet paintings. They're both pad printed tiles because again there are no stickers in this set. Next up we have the grand bookcase, which actually scales the entire height of this building. It goes through all the different floors and it's very clever how they integrated this into the build. If we go to the side of the antique store, we can see some Knight's gear peeking in the window, and then rotate it around to the back where you can find the battery pack which is fastened to the wall, as well as a big opening wall panel which allows you to access the back of the store. Lastly, before we move to the second floor, I just wanted to point out this nifty cable management compartment. You can pull it out and have access to the cables for the build, as well as plug in your USB-C cable if you don't wish to use a battery pack. Now, as we attach the second floor, you'll notice this electrical piece which will allow electricity to flow to the second floor, but also when you pull the floors apart, you're not going to have any long cables dangling around, so it's a really good piece introduced by FunWhole. So now that we're on the second floor, they have a really cool vitoscope with a lamp shining above it, as well as a really neat upright piano which has some really great printed parts for it. In the corner of the room we can find a vintage lamp, and I just wanted to show some of the cable management inside of the build. As you can see, it's very well hidden by the bricks. At the back of the wall, underneath the stairs, is a beautiful printed painting, and then outside is a brilliant hourglass and clock telling the time. Onto the third floor now, where we can see an incredible stained glass window with LED lights behind it, and then inside might possibly be my favourite floor because it's an arrangement of clocks, loads of different designs and very clever techniques used for each one. Now as we move onto the roof and connect this final piece, you'll notice it light up. This is because there is a beautiful chandelier that will shine throughout the building. The roof features a glass ceiling looking into the building, as well as some lion statues overlooking the street. Lastly, I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of the chandelier with inside the building. Now for the last part of this video, I just wanted to address some of the cons with the set.
So for some of the cons of this build, I just want to switch it around to the back, because as you can see on this wall, it looks a little bit funky with the indents here. Hopefully over time they'll be able to improve this for their future modulars. You can also see it on this side. It's just a little bit of patchwork. For me, it looks a little bit odd. So fingers crossed, FunWhole will be able to improve this for their future modular builds.
Lastly, I just wanted to point out this stud, which looks a little bit out of place on the front of the build and could have just been covered up using one of the white tiles used for the brickwork.
So overall, I think this is a really great set. It's pretty tall, as you can tell. It has some great play features. The minifigures I'm still getting used to. They're pretty cute, I think, but maybe over time I'm going to warm up to them even more. The fact that FunWhole have their own custom bricks to have the wires thread through to keep them very hidden within this build, I think is very good. You've got the battery pack tucked around the back with the option of also using a USB-C cable if you wanted to keep it powered all the time. It's definitely a thumbs up for me. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this build? Would you be maybe trying out a FunWhole product sometime soon? Also, if you enjoyed this different type of content, let me know and be sure to hit it with a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.